NLC, shame on you guys. Like, shame, like we usually do in primary school. Like, it's such a shame on NLC that we've been suffering through fuel scarcity for so long now. We've been suffering scarcity of cash for a while now. NLC has been quiet. They've not said a word, no nothing. It was as if, these things wasn't happening in their own dictionary because, the crucial time that you would expect that the NLC will come out, make their stand known, to threaten the government by, with strike, to make the government realize that, look, people are suffering, and to add on top this, like to add insult upon injury, workers are still going to strike. Workers, like, oh my God, like if you have government workers around you in this cash scarcity, like, I pity them, because how are they managing? Because these government workers still had to show up. They still have to show up at work every day as if, nothing is going on, because these people do not have the NLC to stand in for them. The NLC were not speaking up for government workers. Before we go into the details of today's news, because it's a shame that, the CBN yesterday announced that the old currency now becomes a legal tender. Now, this is when NLC knows that they can come out and shakara. Like, this is now time for that NLC thinks that they can come out and start talking blah, blah, blah. Where was NLC all this while when Nigerians have been suffering and they were nowhere to be found? Anyway, before I just keep going on and on, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please make sure you subscribe. Turn on the post notification bell if this is your first time. And if you're subscribed already, thank you very much. Help us grow this channel by giving this video a massive thumbs up so that this video gets recommended to YouTube viewers all around the world. Lastly, please leave your comments in the comment section. I love to hear from you. Without further ado, let's delve right into the details of today's news. Attention! See the scary thing NLC plans to do across Nigeria in 7 days if Naira fuel scarcity are not resolved. The federal government has been given a 7-day ultimatum by the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, to resolve the Naira and petrol scarcity currently bedeviling the country. The ultimatum was issued by Joe Ajaero, NLC president, on Monday in Abuja during the opening session of the union's Central Working Committee (CWC) meeting. 2 weeks ago, the Supreme Court had invalidated the Naira redesign policy introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria over defective timing and implementation. A 7-member panel of the Apex Court held that the old 200 Naira, 500 Naira, and 1,000 Naira notes remain legal tender until December 31, 2023. In the aftermath of a court order, some banks started dispensing old notes to customers over the counter and automated teller machines. However, some Nigerians have refused to use the old notes for transactions as they await an official announcement from the federal government and CBN on the next course of action. But last night, the CBN said the old 200 Naira, 500 and 1,000 Naira notes will remain legal tender till December 31st in an apparent compliance with the Supreme Court ruling. It, however, remains to be seen if this directive from the CBN would be enough to end the scarcity of the Naira notes. Speaking at the meeting, NLC President Mr. Ajaero expressed concerns over the situation Nigerians were in as a result of the Naira redesign policy. He warned that if nothing was done to improve the situation by the end of the 7-day period, workers would be directed to stay away from work. He said the Congress wishes to inform the federal government that we will no longer keep quiet on this issue of perennial fuel scarcity and arbitral increase of petroleum products prices, the issue of cash crunch. The NLC, is giving the federal government of Nigeria, the agencies of government, including the Central Bank of Nigeria and top banking institutions, 7 days to address the issue of a cash crunch. If they fail to do this at the expiration of the 7 days, the Congress is directing all workers in the country to stay at home because it has become very difficult to even access 1 naira to enter vehicles to your workplace. It is even difficult to buy products, especially from traders who don't have bank accounts. This is the situation we have found ourselves. The federal government came out with a policy that even the old currency are still valid. What we have discovered is that even when the banks give you those old currencies, the traders are not accepting it. And even when you take it to the same banks, the banks are not accepting it either. We are being frustrated to a level that we can no longer keep quiet. On the political situation in the country, Ajaero urged the court to uphold justice in the issues tabled before it. Last week, oil marketers said some parts of the country may face petrol scarcity until after the upcoming gubernatorial and state assembly elections due to restriction of movement. Following the presidential and national assembly elections, queues for petrol have resurfaced in parts of Abuja and other northern states. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority had said the scarcity was caused by the restriction of movement during the recently concluded presidential elections. It is important to note that while there has been no official reaction from the federal government to resurfacing of fuel scarcity. Thank you very much for always listening and watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now. Bako. Thank you very much for always listening and watching. Thank you very much. Oh my God.